Welcome back, guys. This is quite exciting for us, testing out a new camera to see if we can extend our drives a little bit into the evening and hopefully see some of those more interesting smaller mammals that are nocturnal, and some of the bigger mammals and what they're doing at night. We've got a kudu right here. We're just going to have Bryan's just going to be fiddling quite a bit, so we might be chatting a bit, but otherwise just like a normal game drive. And we've got a kudu, so we're going to go have a look and see how the new camera works. And we're obviously not putting a spotlight on the kudu. So here we go. Isn't that incredible? We can actually see the kudu.
Let me change lenses.
So bear with us for a second. We're on a very wide lens at the moment, and there's a lot of chopping and changing, so we're going to change to a longer lens and see what the capabilities of that lens are. So this is really exciting, obviously, for all of us here, for the cameramen, the guides, everyone in FC. We're really excited to be able to extend into the darkness. And obviously, as I said, just a test at the moment, so hopefully it's going to work nicely. Yes, I'm going to turn off all the lights now. And how does that look, Bryan? And lens cap helps.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's definitely going to be very dark. So, do you need me to use the spotlight, Bryan, on the ground, just so you can find them?
Okay, let's try it out. Yeah, just like that again, that's cool.
So it's going to be a bit grainy. We really pumping up the ISO to enable us to see in the dark, and unfortunately that does come with a little bit of grain. So unfortunately, with the new camera, I don't have a monitor, so I can't actually see what the camera is seeing. But with my naked eyes, I cannot see the kudu in front of me at all. I just can make out a little bit of the road and some trees on the silhouette. I can't see any of the animals. But apparently, from what I hear and looking at Bryan, you guys can. So isn't that amazing?
I'm looking at the sky.
So we've only got the little side lights on. Bryan's going to now have it come off the kudu and take you up into the sky. One of the things we're hoping we're going to be able to show you some stars with this new equipment. Do you want to try the moon?
Yeah, let's go for the moon.
So we're going to try get up on the moon now. So it sounds like, from what I'm hearing, is that you can even see the dark side of the moon. Reminds me of that wonderful, wonderful Pink Floyd album. And I'm sure you can see some of the craters on the light side. Any men up there, Bryan?
Not today. Let me come over that one.
Okay. So we're going to move along and keep testing the equipment. They could have gone and I didn't even see them disappear. Stop now. You got him there, Bryan? So during the day, we often see duiker, but they disappear very quickly. Might be a little bit more relaxed at night. How's it looking, Bryan?
Very decent. Holy moly.
There we go, you can see that little duiker moved out of the thickets out into the open to feed during the evening. Isn't this amazing, guys? One of the animals that runs away from us so often during the day, and now just continuing on its business in the evening. We've just got the side lights on. I'm going to turn them off now, Bryan, so you can test.
Which black? Let me see.
So I've just turned off the little side lights. We're going to see if we can...
Yeah, that gives me nothing.
No, it's too dark, so we need the side light on. And we can hear the little Scops owlet calling in the distance. One of my favorite calls in the bush. There's a hyena coming right in front of us, Bryan. There we go. You got him?
Yeah, got him.
So we're going to try follow this hyena with just the little side lights on. I might have to use, there's the duiker bounding away in front of the hyena. I might have to use the spotlight to just stay with him, but we will try. How's that, Bryan?
Yeah, that's okay.
Looks like he's coming to visit our house, heading in that general direction. How's it looking, Bryan?
Got pretty decent.
Hyena off on its nightly patrols in search of carrion and food and move the light. So he's starting to run away as we keep following. I'm going to let him relax a little bit. How's it looking there, Bryan?
Yeah, good.
Has he stopped?
Yeah.
So the hyena is probably about 40 or 50 meters from me at the moment. I can just make him out, just see the movement as he heads towards our camp. So we've got an interesting comment from John who says, we can sneak onto the other properties at night now because no one will find us in the dark. Unfortunately, I can't see when I'm driving in the dark, but if we're following an animal, there's a possibility. I'm just going to get back to the road, and I've spotted the hyena again. He's quite far from us, and I'm going to try to loop around in front and see if we get another nice view of that hyena. The lens is on, that's as wide as it can go at the moment, unfortunately. But as I said, we are testing. I think that hyena can smell our dinner being cooked, which smells wonderful. We're having a braai tonight. There's the hyena, and I think he's a bit jealous. So obviously you can't see me, unfortunately, at the moment. I'm sure we'd much rather look at this hyena in the eerie low light, and he's heading straight for our camp.
No.
So unfortunately it is monochrome, but Bryan's saying that's all he's going to be able to get out of it. Now that hyena is literally, I might have to have a talk to that hyena. It's heading straight in to visit the camp. That could be the hyenas are incredible. That for the last 200,000 years they have actively scavenged not only off lions and leopards and that, but off people. And we're incredibly messy, so he's just seeing if there's a gap. He's just walked past. You can see the entrance to our camp there. The gate's still open because we're out. And just coming to have a squiz, make sure everything is hunky-dory. And there we go, he's just walked. He's checked the entrance gate. See, he looks like he's guilty. He was going to go try and get into the rubbish. So as I was saying, hyenas have been scavenging off people for the last 200,000 years. And they do have a natural fear of man, but not to the same degree as lions and that. They didn't really kill hyenas, sort of chase them. And even if you chase a hyena away, they normally run a little bit and then they'll stop. After about 50 meters and carry on walking, they're not nearly as afraid of us as sort of lions and leopards. We still got them. No, I can't see him anymore.
Come around the corner.
One around the corner.
Yeah, he's going to the corner to the right.
There he is. I still can't see him, but I'm taking Bryan's word for it. There we go. Now I can. Disappearing off into the bush. But they are fascinating creatures, and we definitely need to try to find the new hyena den.
Okay, battery change, lens change.
Okay guys, we're going to do a quick battery change, so you're going to lose picture for a second, and we're going to change to the wider lens again for a little bit. So we've changed to the wider lens now. I'm going to go see, and as it gets a little bit darker, I'm going to head out into the open a little bit and try see if we can maybe catch a bit more of the Milky Way. So we're going to go check down towards the Djuma Dam Cam and see if we get any luck down there. I can tell you our dinner smells quite fantastic from here. Nothing like a bit of Djuma on the fire. Very much a popular African tradition. Djuma is the Zulu and Shangaan word for meat. And with a lot of these different words, there's some very important words. Oh, there we go, white-tailed mongoose. It's going to be I'll try to get close enough to that lens, but we might run. So I was talking about finding the little more interesting nocturnal mammals that we don't really see that often. And here is one of them. I'm going to turn off the main spotlight and just use these little side lights. Are we close enough, Bryan?
Not really. I'd have to change lenses again.
Let's just try. We're not going to change lenses, unfortunately. I think he'll be gone. But he is quite close to us now. So it's the largest mongoose species we get here. How's it look, Bryan?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
You can see that very distinct white tail. He's jogging off. I'm going to try to keep with him. So it's off foraging. Actually really incredibly beautiful little, well, not so little, a very big mongoose species. Oh, have a rest. Always heard something. There might be a little rodent or something around. So who knows, maybe we'll see a kill. Right, I can't see the same details here as possibly. Can you see if he's listening for something? Nope.
Just stood up.
He's listening possibly for a small rodent or something in the grass or an insect. So he's listening very intently. I'm hoping maybe he makes a little pounce at something in the grass. But you can see he's quite a lot more relaxed without too many lights around, just these little side lights, throwing some ambient light out there. We're going to try, because he's being so still, a quick lens change. It's not often we see them, and especially not this relaxed. So guys, it's really important, and you, all our viewers out there, are really, really important to us. And it's so amazing that you're able to see a little bit of behind the scenes now while we're testing this new equipment. And let us know what you think. And look how amazing that is. I mean, defecating. And he's just having a wee. I can't see that closely. I just saw the body shape change a little bit. So isn't this amazing? There we go. Might head off foraging again. I'm just going to move forward to try catch him. So along the white tail. Still got him, Bryan?
Yeah, it's just behind the sticks.
I can just see a tiny bit of movement in there. And apparently, Bryan, you guys can see him quite nicely. He is hiding in the bush a little bit. Try to sneak around again.
Gone to the right.
Is he gone to the right?
Yeah.
I don't see him there. Try to get behind this little thicket so we can see in. Wow, isn't that incredible, guys? He's letting us get very close to him as well. This is definitely one of the best visuals of a white-tailed mongoose I've ever had. So I mean, the dwarf mongoose, which we normally see during the daytime drives, is the smallest of the mongoose, the actual smallest of the mongoose species, and this is one of the bigger of the mongoose species. It's the biggest one we get in the Sabi Sands by quite a long way. We see them, they're quite often seen in pairs, but often they'll be found foraging solitary, like they are, like we found this guy. So at the moment, probably 6 or 7 meters from this little white-tailed mongoose. Having a little snooze. So a lot of these little nocturnal animals will have bouts of activity and then they will rest up a little bit. And some of the other more interesting nocturnal mammals will only get moving even later, and that's to avoid lions and leopards, which are often are moving quite a lot after that first hour after sunset. So far,
Thoroughly enjoying it so far. Definitely.
he's going to rest for a little bit, but then I'm definitely sure he'll continue to forage and move out and see what else he can find on the quarantine clearings. Probably hunting for rodents at this time of the year. Hey guys, we're going to swap across to the wide lens again quickly, and we're going to try to go have a look at the stars while we leave this little mongoose to have a snooze, and then we're going to shut down for the evening. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this extension and test here with the new equipment that we're trying out at the moment. This little white-tailed mongoose here is having a bit of a rest, but he was definitely foraging or hunting. Romeo was asking that, but at the moment he's going to have a little snooze, I think, before moving on to try catch something else. And when we're ready, are we ready, Bryan?
Yeah, we're ready.
Well, cool. And we're going to go find a little bit of a darker spot and see if we can get those stars. Goodbye, little guy. Thank you. So it's amazing. We've been listening constantly to those little scops owlets calling. It's the smallest owlet, and Charlie on Twitter noticed them, and that trilling call, that sort of thrup, thrup. Okay, how's this, Uncle Bryan? That's off. We're going to have a look at the stars. There should be a bit of ambient moonlight over the Milky Way. Do you want me to move to the Milky Way?
Yeah, let's go to the Milky Way.
How's that? So, I'm going to try something here quickly. Bryan, you can see the Southern Cross?
Yeah, let me try and get there.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try show you guys the Southern Cross now quickly. And it's one of the ways to find out where south is when you're in the bush. Tell me when you're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is what you call the Southern Cross, and those two over there are the 2 pointers, Alpha Centauri and Beta Centauri. So to find south, you take an imaginary line from directly between the 2 pointers and draw it down into the sky like that, and then you take the longest axes of the cross and you do that, and where those two lines bisect, drop, and we have south. And also interesting about the pointers, Alpha Centauri is actually a binary star system, and the closest star to Earth apart from the Sun is in that star system, and it's called Alpha Proximus, and it's about 8 light years away from us. So unfortunately it's still a bit too light to show you Scorpio. I can barely make it out with my eyes, but guys, it's been absolutely fantastic. Bryan and I unfortunately have to get going to the Manuleti, but thanks very much for joining us. Alright, 1 second. Wow, it's so bright after all that darkness. But thanks very much for joining us on this test. Incredible. Hopefully this equipment works out and we're going to be able to explore a whole new side of the African bush. So thanks again for joining us. We really appreciate your questions and really appreciate you guys who hang around afterwards to keep up with us on this little test with the new equipment. And we'll see you bright and early for the Sunrise Safari. Have a fantastic evening or day wherever you might be in the world. Good night.